Welcome to my very petty podcast through my pain. I said very petty because I just had this conversation with my niece last night in which I was explaining some things to my niece. Sometimes I really think I'm giving her too much because she's so young, but then I realize and I understand that oftentimes older people don't have real meaningful conversations with young people because they think that young people are young and they don't give a damn and they're not going to really soak up the information and take them seriously. But I believe that when you stimulate the mind of a young person and you have serious conversations with them, you help them to grow and to learn and to develop and to mature and to be more adult-like, or at least learn to look at things from a more mature perspective, rather than just kind of leave them along with their peers in which, nobody really has any insight or experience to help guide their decisions. And then you have a bunch of inexperienced youngsters kind of ping-ponging nonsense back and forth, without any insight. So I try to have meaningful conversations with her that aren't too heavy, I think that she, partially doesn't take me too seriously anyway, because I'm always smiling and laughing and joking all the time. But anywho, I was explaining to my niece, I felt the need to explain to her, oh my, how and why I cursed out my ex-fiance in December. And the reason I felt the need to explain to her is because I was really mean. I was really mean and I was really intentional. I knew exactly what I was doing and I was explaining to her why I did it. I was explaining to her, why it was necessary. Because, I'm pretty sure he ran back and told my family. I'm pretty sure he ran back and told my family that I cursed him out, to the heavens. And I'm pretty sure there was a discussion about that. You know what I'm saying? But it was very necessary. And I had to explain to my niece why that was. What was the point of that? And that, no, your auntie did not lose her mind. She has not lost her mind. And I wanted her to know what that was about, why that was necessary. As far as what anybody else might think about it, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't owe you no explanation, partner. But anyway, it was very necessary. I had to do it. It had to be done. It needed to be done. And I just wanted to let my niece know what that was about. But I went on into that conversation to tell her about, one of the things that I look forward to and one of the things that I want, and why I've made, some of the decisions that I've made with my relationship and dating choices. And one of the things that I shared with my niece was that, I just want a petty relationship, this petty podcast, this petty relationship. I just want a petty relationship. I just want somebody I can be petty with. Do you feel me? Do you even know what I'm talking about? No, you don't. I mean, I just want us to be sitting at the table, and look at each other and be like, you old petty ass mother. I just want to go in the kitchen, while my baby's in the kitchen, and go in there and take the salt shaker while he has the salt and pepper shaker. I just want to take the salt shaker and we just start arguing because I took the salt shaker. I want to just fix him a sandwich, and he put the tomato on my lettuce, And then we just argue because he put the tomato on my lettuce. You know what I'm saying? I just want to walk in the bathroom and see that he left the toilet stool seat up. And we just argue. We just argue like cats and dogs because he left the toilet seat up. I just want to be petty. That's all I really want. I know y'all think I done lost my mind. But the point that I'm making is I don't want a relationship where we have problems and issues, where we're arguing and fighting about the rent, the lights, the gas, the mortgage, the credit card bills, the doctor bills. I want everything in our life to be so beautiful, so absolutely wonderful, beautiful, and amazing that the only thing that bothers us is some petty stuff. We ain't got nothing else to argue about. We ain't got nothing else to worry about. So we got to make up some little petty stuff. Because we're living good. We're doing well. It's just love, no stress, no baby mama drama, no baby daddy drama, no bills. So we just got to be petty. You know? That's all I want. I just want that little petty love. Ain't got a care in the world. Ain't worried about nothing. Just pick a petty fight. So yeah, I had to share that with my niece. I think she got that. I think she understood, what I meant. Because that's when you know you really don't have any problems. When you have petty arguments, like this old hag done came in here and moved my house shoes. But see, you see that kind of thing, kind of like with older people when they didn't got up in age and they really, got things going pretty well for themselves. And so they just argue about little petty stuff. They don't have nothing else to argue about because they handled their business when they were younger. Why you move my house shoes? You know I don't like my house shoes on that side of the room. Every morning I wake up, you didn't move my darn house shoes. I want that. I want that. I want that. That petty. Because then you know you didn't live right there. You didn't made it. When the only thing you got to be worried about is something that ain't even nothing to be worried about. Everything else taken care of. You just fuss about the house shoes, the toilet seat, the salt and pepper shaker, the tomatoes, the newspaper. Why you didn't bring the newspaper in? You know I like to read my newspaper while I'm having my morning coffee. Oh, I'm looking forward to those petty days. I really, really am. I really, really am. So I live my life like a person who is looking forward to those petty days, which means I'm trying to keep all of my ducks in a row. I'm trying to dot the I and cross the T. I'm trying to keep things in order so that my petty days will be much, much more petty. Man. I think somebody understand what I'm saying. But it's something to think about, I think that's probably one of the things that, folks don't too much realize is a blessing when you can just be petty because you have no problems. And I was also sharing with my niece how, you can listen to what a couple argues about and know whether or not they have real problems, because if they have real problems, it's going to come out in their argument. They have some real issues. You can hear it in the way that they argue with each other, the way that they speak to each other. You can read between the lines and see what's really going on in a relationship. So when I'm meeting people and they're talking about their relationship, I'm always listening to see, You know, if they have serious problems or if they got little petty problems. But I'm looking forward to being one of those little petty people with the petty problems when everybody else is arguing about some serious stuff. We just making up petty stuff, you know, just to kind of, I don't know, I guess break the rhythm for a while of I don't like to argue though. I really don't. I don't like to argue in my relationships because I've found that when I argue, even though, you know, I might make up or whatever and move on with it and, you know, and maintain a relationship, it's hard. It's really, really hard to erase the words from your mind once you hear them. You know, you get into an argument and then things get said. And for me, those words kind of just end up on repeat, replay, repeat, replay. So I don't like to argue. I don't like to argue at all. As a matter of fact, once I get to the point of where I'm ready to argue, that's when I'm pretty much at the point where I'm ready to say goodbye. Because I know that once you argue, really, really argue, you can't take back those words. So when I was younger, arguing wasn't nothing for me, you know. But now that I'm older and more mature, the only argument I want to have is a petty one.